Generic greetings and welcome back to Airships Conquer the Skies. Today's beverage is cloudy apple squash, very refreshing indeed. So once again we're going to go over to design and fight and to the airship editor, and I want to make something that is based around the harpoon gun. Now this is not a new idea or approach. If we go to open design here and work our way down, we have the crane actually up to version 3 here, and that was supposed to be a vessel that would harpoon onto a target, take it up to a very high height and then drop it. However, it didn't work for oh so many reasons. We also have the sandwich, which uses the harpoon guns to grapple onto the enemy airship, bring it into the kill box, which is right in the center. These aerial charges would cause utter devastation. However, sadly the debris would then fall off and then completely wreck the sandwich itself. And we've got other legacy designs. However, a lot of them either used things like the harpoon guns paired with, well, we've done multiple things. Things like saw blades, you could use the flamethrowers as well, we've also used. But I think what we want to do, and the main problem with the harpoons, is that when you grab onto a target, all that happens is it just drags you closer until you're basically colliding. And the problem with that is that obviously you start to lose a lot of your ship, and if the opponent has even close to or better engines and lift, it would just go wherever it wants, and you're just sort of attached to it and getting flung around like a dog chew. So that's not good. So what we're going to do is actually go to propulsion and then to a large propeller, and we're going to be basing this off the large propeller. And also in terms of lift, we're going to use a large suspendium chamber. So we want a lot of lift and a lot of power. That's the objective here. And also in terms of weaponry, we're just going to go with rams. The whole point is that we want to be able to go where we need to go, so we need to be very fast and have a good service ceiling. We will harpoon onto the target and then just simply ram into it. We have made ramming ships before, but this is a different approach to it. Also, we will be using probably, well, almost certainly wooden wall. This is a sacrificial ship. It is something that we know is going to go in and do... It's caused a lot of devastation, but it doesn't come back from the fight. We might go with wooden wall, actually, because there's not too much in terms of cost. The wooden wall and wooden armor, let's see what the difference is. The wooden wall has 2 piercing damage and 24 HP, whereas the wooden armor has got over twice the HP and absorbs 2 blast and 4 piercing. So for the extra probably 100 once we've built it, I think it's worth that expenditure. But we'll see. We are building this down to the bare minimum of cost. Let's go over to resources here and then to a small coal store. The small coal store will go in here. Like I say, it is all built to cost, so I really don't care how much coal we have. I don't expect this surviving a big fight. In terms of weaponry, does this thing need ammunition? It does need ammunition, so I will put a small ammo store in here. And actually no, I'll put a small ammo store there, and I'm going to move that forward, have command and crew, and then put a bridge on board. And the reason I'm putting a bridge on board rather than a cockpit is simply because of the sort of command that we need to give. A command every 3 seconds, whereas if we instead had a cockpit, it would be command every 9 seconds. We want to be able to give orders to this. However, it's all going to be built to a cost, and it's 46 generic units of currency for a bridge as opposed to 12 for the cockpit, so we may instead go with that. Haven't yet decided, we shall see. Anyway, there is our 3 harpoons, but I think I'm going to remove that harpoon gun, and instead I will put probably, well, I need a supply hatch, so we'll go with a wooden supply hatch in there like so. And then for this section, oh, we also need, do we need more crew? Crew is 6, so if I bring that back, I'll put that there, bring that back, and then put those like so. And that is now a legitimate ship. However, we don't really have a way to ram into the opponent, so I'm going to go over to probably solid shapes, a filler block, 1-1, and then over to weapons, and then work our way down, and we will find a ram, cowcatcher ram, spiked ram, and grand ram. Now the grand ram is just far too big and heavy, so I mean, no, it's not going to work out. The spike ram is fairly okay. It's got a weight of 900 and 7,000 HP. The cowcatcher ram's got a weight of 250 with a 5,000 HP, and the standard ram is weight 500 with 900 HP. So actually, the standard ram is better for us. Also, I think it's a little bit lighter. Obviously, it's not as large in terms of its length. I think it's one shorter. It's actually two shorter. So we might end up switching out for the spiked ram. But the spiked ram... yeah, it's a fragile ram. We don't want to be going with that one. So that's basically what we need. Now, we could obviously cheapen this out by maybe removing some armor, but I don't think that is necessary. I do think command every 10 seconds is far... No, we can't do it. I really can't risk having that amount of... I really can't risk having that amount of delay when we're giving orders. It's just not going to work. So I will put in command and crew the command. It's going to be a bridge, which will go in here, and we do need more supply, which is fine because obviously we've removed it. Back over to resources, over to our standard wooden supply hatch, and there we go. It is now a legitimate ship. In terms of decoration, I like the idea of this having... Oh, you got like anchors and chains and winches and stuff. Look at that, like an anchor on the side there. Fins, lights. Let's put like fins on it and stuff, like steering fin pair. Maybe? Does that work? It does not work. Steering fin pair, remove those. I mean, we could put like on the front. Steering fin on the top. No, I'm not too... Not a big fan of that one. Not a fan of those either. But I want to have it... Oh, there's tanks and stuff. I like the idea of it being quite embellished. So, decorations. No. Gold leaf, no. Paintings. You got obviously like the mouth and stuff as be... You could go with the mouth and an eye like that. That just looks very, very silly. I'm not saying we're not doing it. I'm just saying it looks silly. I'll get rid of those decorations. Stencils, nameplates, heraldry. I mean, we haven't put a nameplate on a lot of these designs for a while. We've got a flag there as well, which will wave in the wind. I actually quite like that. The flag. What else we want? Masts and chimneys. I mean, we've already got 2 chimneys. That's enough chimney. Mast? No, don't think we need that. Tiny masts. Fins, lights. I do like the lights on them. I mean, shall I put lights all the way down the center like that? Would that look all right? I think you can get red lights, can't? Oh, you can. I know you can get red lights, but the hanging lights, I think. Lantern chains, no. Red lantern and fancy paper lantern, fancy red paper lantern and cylindrical. We're gonna go with the red lantern, and oh, do you just have to? You can't place it underneath, so we'll just place it along there. And oh, you see they're actually moving in the wind. Oh no, we'll leave that. We'll leave that. Fancy lanterns, leave it. Devices, foghorn, vents, grills. There's loads of extra bits in here. Tanks and pipes, panels, rivets. Oh, so you can add rivets to it, and then different decks and stuff. Lots of variation there, and different struts. Okay, fine. I think out of all the things that we used, the one that I liked the most was in fins and the steering fin pair, and put the fins fairly close to the front. That is alright. What if we put it further back, actually? I'll see what that looks like further back. So, put that there. No, I don't like it covering up the centre. Maybe just forward of that? No, I think actually just there. That is fine. Right, we'll go to rename, and we need to call it something. We'll call it the Oslo. Does it have a W in? No, of course it doesn't have a W in. Save a design. And save, leave. And let's try combat. So add in a airship, and we'll go to the Oslo. We're going to place it pretty much anywhere we want, because obviously it is quite a good service ceiling. Its cost is 896. So if we go to airship then, and we look for something around 800. Oh, they're 886. So that is the Barry, and that is I think a reasonable thing to fight. So that is, yeah, something that they are a little bit overpointed, but there you are. I'm actually going to move back. I'm going to start the fight, immediately tell them to launch the tether at the Barry, and then unpause it. And I'm going to say ram and work out down here, and then we need to issue the ram. And here we go, and they will tether onto it like so, and tether has been engaged. No, it looks like it hasn't been engaged, so we'll flip around. And obviously we need to engage tether once again. And there's the tether, and there's the ram. And there's the ram, and it is still chewing through it, but it's not working. Cut the tether, and then we'll back ourselves up. So back up to there, and we can see we've caused a considerable amount of damage to them, but sadly we have lost... Well, we've lost. The back end of the ship seemed to disappear very, very quickly. We have initiated some more grapple, but sadly we are... Oh, they're actually lifting us up now. Right, that didn't work. Back over to combat. We will try that once again. Over to the airship and then to the Oslo. And we'll put that in about there. And to the enemy we'll put for... What should we have? The Denver is a boarding vessel, so we know we'd lose against that for sure. The Hull... we could probably win against that, but we'll give it a go at some point. The Oxford, we could go for an Oxford. Oxford is long-range ray ship, so we're going to put it up there. We'll move ourselves further forward. We will start the fight. Immediately I say tether, launch the tether like that, because I want to then be able to get in quickly. So here's the tethering, so we're getting in range of the tether. And there's the tether, that's good. So tether is on, but one of them sadly did miss, and we have now sadly missed them there as well. So I'm going to just work our way back over like that, and they're able to issue a lot of orders, which is not good. It also says no target available. Come on, ram. It's well, we've made a collision there, and I'm also not able to... I'm not able to move. The tethers have locked us on, and that's going to be our suspendium chamber gone, and we're going to drop out of the sky. Okay, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Airship editor. Open the design. What can we do to improve this? Probably set it on fire and don't come back to the design ever again. Probably, is what you're thinking. However, there may be some potential improvements made. We would have to add more rams onto it, which obviously is going to reduce the service ceiling by a considerable amount. However, I think it might be worth it. What I'm going to do is remove that. I need to put in a connection either side. One there. Those are going to go like that, and we need more supply hatches. So there we go. We've now only got one grapple, but we do have the 2 rams now. So save the design once again. Not going to save it as a version 2. Leave that. Try the combat again. Airship. Go for the Oslo. I'm going to place that in here. And for the airship we're going to be facing, again, we're looking around about that 800 point cost. And, I mean, there's like the rock tosser. Maybe we put one of those in. No, let's try an Oxford. Let's try an Oxford again. Start the fight. Well, I should point out that the Oxford is one of the most, if not probably the most powerful ship. Actually, I think the Denver is probably the most powerful ship that we have, simply because of its versatility. There is, sadly, the harpoon that missed, but we did manage to go right in front of it, which is excellent. However, we are not grappling onto it, which is a shame, so pull back there. Hopefully they'll initiate the grapple, and once again they missed the grapple, which is just terrible in every way. And there's another ram, and that worked out. Right, we have successfully managed to grapple onto it, but now that we've grappled there, let's see if we can dictate the direction of travel with this grapple. We can dictate the direction of travel, but the problem is, oh yes, that's what we wanted to see. And there you go, that's what I was looking for. Now, I don't know if you saw that, but when we moved, what happened was it sort of got like elasticated sort of bit to it. So yeah, we get this sort of elastic thing where it's moving back and forward, but it's not really moving as we would intend. Look at that, I'm pulling it back there, and that's what I want. I want that, like, that elastic snap, where if we pull back like that, we're gonna run out of coal here and fall out the sky. Yeah, when they're going the wrong way, or the same way, pulling the other way, we're not really moving. Okay, that's a victory, but it's a bit of a hollow one, I think. Add in airship, and let's see what we can verse that's quite a large size. Don't want the crane, don't want that one. Botfly, the basic's probably a decent one to fight. Let's place it in there. I don't think we're going to win this one, because again, the basic is a very strong vessel. This is actually using very limited technology as well, the basic. Let's start the fight. Issue a grapple onto that, and then I will say ram forward and go, go, go. There's the grapple, and bang. So immediately we've caused a bit of damage to them, and there you go. We have a lot more power than they do, But the problem is that I think the grapple is, if anything, it's hindering us. It's hindering us massively because when we try to move, it's not moving like it should. Whereas if we do that, yes, that's working out when we do that. But if we have the grapple on, it sadly is not. I mean, this isn't exactly how the grapple is intended to be used anyway. Like, so I'm trying to go the other way, and it's just not moving at all. As soon as I cut the grapple, well, it happens to fall out the sky, but that's not because of anything other than the suspendium chamber breaking, and I see all the suspendium particles fly up. Yeah, okay. Leave that. Let's see. What sort of fight would this get into? What would we use it for? We wouldn't use it as a one-on-one thing like I've been doing there. Realistically, you would see something that is very expensive and you would fling it at that. So you would want to cause a lot of damage to things like, yeah, like the Necrosis or the New York. Could try against the New York. Probably the New York. The thing is, we can't win this fight because this is a carrier, but you wouldn't feel these individually. Airship. Oslo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're a little bit underpointed, but it matters not. We're in sort of 2 groups of 3. Start the fight. The first ones, I'm just going to initiate ram straight away. Initiate the ram. And grapple. The other ones, I'll say ram to there. So there's the grapple. And... oh, yes, that's considerable damage. Okay. So we are definitely dictating the direction of travel here. This one, however, I'm going to ram behind it. This one, I'm going to say go up. I can come back. This one I'm going to have to ram and flip. That one down to there, that one down to there, that one flip there. There we go. So we're taking on both. Oh, yeah, that's it. There, look at that. It's taking out the bridge and the front bit. Right. Initiate more ramming. And here we go. And there's the weapons gone on the front. Sweet. Okay. That's pretty much what I was after. Obviously, the damage I'm causing is really... doesn't really mean anything. I'm going to have to remove the grapple from that one. It doesn't really mean much because, obviously, we've got... I'm going to have to pull back on that. Yeah, the grapple's just keeping us tied to it. Oh, has that run out of coal? No. Yes, it's run out of coal. It can't move. They've all run out of coal. Yeah, it doesn't really matter about the damage we're causing because we can't destroy the planes. But I think the first couple of hits, especially around the back there, took out the propulsion, most of their, well, all the suspendium chambers, as well as their bridge. So if we fielded 1 or 2 of these with a fleet, did they cause... they're about 1,000 each, these Oslos, I think. Let's have a look. Airship and Oslo. Oh no, 892. So did they cause 800 worth of damage? Maybe 1,000... maybe 1,600 worth of damage, because we've had 2 of them with very effective. I don't know. I'm not convinced. We're going to go for a land ship here, and we're going to field again another strong vessel, which is the Winter. And this is version 2, I think. Add in another Oslo, or 2 actually, probably 2 Oslos. 1 there, and 1 there. And we'll get rid of that one at the back. He's been a bit cheeky, sitting in the back there. And we are slightly overpointed, but then again, that's not a big problem. Issuing rams, and let's see what happens. Also issue not just the movement, but also the grapple as well. And let's see what happens. So there's the grapple, and we've sailed straight over the top. Brilliant, but, oh yes, good hit on the front, good hit on the front. This one at the back, we'll say ram and then flip, and say flip to there, and it has flipped first, which is good. This one is now ramming at the back. The other one at the top, I'm going to issue movement further down the back. Also have to move these back over too, but because they are currently grappled, they are not able to do anything. This one is also very, very much on fire. And sadly, because all of the weapons are facing forward, am I able to... issue a ram? I can issue a ram, and it is sadly not doing anything. Once again, we've caused considerable damage in short order. It's a very high damage vessel, but obviously got no staying power, which we knew. It's got no armour, nowhere to put out fire, as is quite evident by this flaming hulk on the right-hand side there. But that did take out their weapon on the back as well as the motive systems. Okay, one more attempt, and let's have a nice snowy... Should we have snowy? Oh, let's have a storm. Snowy night? Snowy night, why not? And again, we're going to go for airship. We've got the Austin, which is all about flaming. We've got the Antrim, which is quite, I believe, a cost-effective carrier. I think also aircraft have been cheapened up in the latest patch, which is good. There's the Berlin, the basic, Botfly, Crane, which is useless, the Harrier, the Excalibur. I mean, a Dresden. Put a Dresden against it. I have a feeling we'll lose, though, but let's try it. And airship. Oslo. One there and one further up because I'll get that to go around the back. Start the fight, immediately grapple with the first one. The other one will say run to the back there. That one has initiated the grapple, but it missed. And, oh, dearie me, misplay, go up. Right, that's because that was good. I was able to quickly move back up. And, oh, they're actually ramming into me, which is okay from my point of view. This one, obviously, grapple up there and... Perfect. So what it actually did, as you can quite clearly see, is it went right underneath the bomber, and the bomber proceeded to drop all of its armament on the bottom. And now not only that, but I'm now tethered in such a way that I can't get out of the way of the vessel. So that's not good, is it? Let me just try and move over because I do have more engine power and also more maneuverability. That's good. We've taken that out. I'm just trying to move back over to try and get some... There we go. It's running off now. I have a feeling, however, it's trying to bait me into coming down so it can come up. Let's see what happens. It's still going to win the fight, though. Because I'm running out of coal. And there's the... Yep, there's the coal gone. But, hang on. Can I grapple it? Yes, I've grappled it. Right. If it's just be so kind as to get into a position so we can ram it. No, it's not working out. Okay, I think with a bit more pausing and maneuvering, we could probably win that fight. But again, that bit of damage is pretty good on the front. Yeah. A lot of damage very quickly. It does run out of coal too quickly, though. There's been a few fights there where we've run out of coal when we were still in the fight, really. So, is a version 2 in order? Perhaps. I would add probably a larger coal store. I may... Oh, it's going to be a draw. I may also add in the longer rams. The problem with the rams is that, as you've seen, they point forward or back. There's no up or down rams where you can like sort of land on top of them and ram that way. So unless you ram straight forward, you're not going to get the impact of that weapon. You're just going to crash into it. But that's been a bit of airships. We've had a little mess around with the Oslo. I'm going to put that into the category of sort of useful in very, very particular circumstances, otherwise known as it's mostly useless, but when it works, it works very well. Would I build that an 800 point ship over things like the Denver? Certainly not. Certainly not. If, for example, when we were doing the campaign, we came across those enemies where they were like a very spindly tower, I would use them there, definitely, because I would just chop the bottom off like a tree, and the whole thing would collapse. So that's what we would go with. But other than that, yeah, it's been interesting, but one of our less useful things, I think. If you have any suggestions for changes for the Oslo, or you want to see any particular designs, and you have any ideas, etc., then by all means, pop them in the comments. If you have any themes around certain weapons or abilities, strategies, etc., let me know, and as always, we'll go from there. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.